Welcome students, we are studying chapter 1 of economics, class 9th, NCERT textbook. This is last video, and in this we will study mainly about non-farm activities that are being practiced in the Indian villages. Of course, we'll take the example of Palampur as a hypothetical village, and the main non-farm activities that are being practiced in the Indian rural areas are these: dairy, shopkeeping, small scale manufacturing, and transportation. So let's start with, in every village, every rural area in India, the most important economic activity is farming, that is agriculture. But agriculture is not the only economic activities. There are some other activities which doesn't come under agriculture. That is, those are called as non-farm activities. And those non-farm activities are account for 25% of the rural economy. Okay? Farming, cultivation, all that comes under agriculture. Other than farming comes in here, and we have seen in the previous slides four of them that we are going to focus in this video. So which are the major non-farm activities that are being practiced in the Indian villages? These are four: dairy, that deals with the milk and the milch animals; then shopkeeping, we can also call it trading; then manufacturing, making some product and goods; and transportation. See, four activities we have taken here as a non-farm activity, example of non-farm activities. There are some other non-farm activities too, but every activity we cannot include here. For example, there are some doctors also in villages. There are some teachers also in villages. There are some people who make shoes, repair shoes. There may be some mechanics who can repair two-wheelers or four-wheelers. So we all these things we cannot include here. So this typical four activities we have been considering here. So journey of understanding, learning non-farm activities in Palampur start with dairy. Let's say dairy. Dairy means, first of all, you must have milch animals with you. What are the milch animals? Any animal that gives you milk. Buffalo come in this category. Cow come in this category. Goats may also come. If you are in some areas near Rajasthan, you may have camels. All those animals are milch animals. So first, the farmers have to arrange fodder. Fodder matlab chara. Fodder for these animals, and that is mostly obtained from jawar and bajra. See, we consume jawar and bajra, but after extracting the real thing, that is jawar and bajra, whatever remains that can be used for animals to eat. जवार बाजरा में से जो जवारी निकलती है, जो बाकी ये जो चीजें जो यहाँ दिखाई दे रही है, ये जो निकलती है वो हम खा लेते हैं, बट दिस व्हाट दिस थिंग्स आर रिमेन, these things can be used for fodder. So jawar bajra is food for humans as well as animals. Now these milch animals, that milking animals, give milk. That milk is extracted from them. Now milk is such a product which does not last for long. ये ज़्यादा समय तक बचा नहीं रहता, ये खराब हो जाता है. If you want to preserve it, you need to keep it cool. उसको फ्रिज में चिल रखना पड़ता है. उसके बाद even after that you can keep it for 2 to 3 days, not more than that. That's a big issue. So how would you take that milk to the distant areas? Time will be needed there. So there is a solution to this. So what the farmers do, they have their cows. They obtain milk from their milch animals, the cows or buffaloes or camels, whatever animal they are having. Now that milk is taken to the chilling centers. What are the chilling centers? Chilling centers are special facilities. Initially it was given by the government. The private players also came there. It is chilling facility means a kind of a house. That entire house is converted into a fridge. Or there may be some big fridges like this, like ice cream that you may see in ice cream shops. So there the milk is collected. Maybe sometime these owners of the chilling centers buy the milk from the villagers at some low prices. They keep them cool. They put them into packets, or sometimes even in the cans. They take it to urban areas and sell there. That's also business. Or sometime what the these farmers or these people who extract the milk, they pay some rent to the chilling center and keep their milk for a few hours or one day, 1 or 2 days. Then they buy their own, take it to the urban areas and sell in the market. This is how the dairy industry works. But this is a very limited aspect of the dairy industry that we are studying, because same dairy industry in rural areas produce Curd also, dahi, paneer, all these things are also manufactured in the same industry in rural areas. So we had a glance at the dairy industry. Now let us move to the next industry. Now next industry is small scale manufacturing. What is a small scale manufacturing? Manufacturing means, you know what is manufacturing. Making new thing is a manufacturing. For example, there is a person who at his own house makes shoes. He buy leather, laces, and glue from different places. He has his own tools and he cut the leather and so arrange soles and stitches and pastes them and make shoes. That means he is manufacturing shoes. And what is small scale? When you manufacture something and whatever object things you are manufacturing, they are less in number. You manufacture few things in a day, only very few things in a day. That is small scale manufacturing. Take the example of Adidas, the shoes making, the company that makes shoes. What do you think, how many shoes per day they may be making? Maybe thousands of shoes per day. Yes, then that's a large scale. But a person who makes shoes at his own house or small shop, maybe 4 to 5 pair of shoes a day, that too even that may be more, that is small scale. So let us understand the nature of the small scale industry that is active at the rural areas. Nature of the basic points that can be asked you for the 3 or the 5 marks. The small scale manufacturing. So few things that you can easily keep in your mind. Number one, there are less than 50 people engaged in manufacturing. That is about specific Palampur. But if you take the example of any village in India, of course, it's not restricted to only 50 people are there. There may be 40, there may be 60, there may be 70, there may be 30, depending the size of the village. But what is expected from this point is there are very few people, a very small fragment of the rural population of that village is involved in the manufacturing process. Obviously, the most of the people are involved in agriculture. Then 25% people are involved in other activities, and out of the other activities, manufacturing was the one. So that too, very few people are involved here. And the method that they use to manufacture things, that's also very simple method. It means if you're making shoes, you do not use high level machines or something. Your manual skill, human labor is enough for that. Even if you're making some other things too, what else? You may be making plow. खेत में जो हल चलाते हल बना रहे होंगे, you maybe have some basic tools with you. You're using those tools and making the plow. That's it. So methods are very easy. No big machinery is used for the manufacturing in rural areas. That manufacturing which is a small scale. Of course, when the industry is such where no modern tools are used, no machinery is used, everything is manufactured with the help of the basic tools and with the human labor. It means what comes out, what is being manufactured, that will also be in less in number. And do they have the factories? No. In rural areas, people generally use their own house or their front yard or backyard as a production area. And at the most, they may be having some small basic workshop. But mostly the work is done. The production process is being carried out in their own houses. And who provide the labor? Of course, the family member by their own labor, they manufacture the goods. They do not hire labor from any other source. This is the basic nature of manufacturing process in rural India. Here there are 4 examples of small scale manufacturing in rural India. Which are those small examples? Textile manufacturing, ये कपड़े सिलते ये, that can happen. Making product from the bamboo, several product can be made of bamboo. Pottery, making pots, clay, and some carpet making. All these are some basic examples of small scale manufacturing in rural Indias. Let's have a deeper look into it. One more example. The case study of Mishri Lal. This is a person, Mishri Lal. He has a land where he cultivates sugar canes, or may not be cultivating. He may be buying sugarcane from those people who grow sugarcane. So this person buys sugarcane. And that Mishri Lal takes sugarcane to his own factory. Mishri Lal has his own factory. Here he crushes the sugarcane, extract the juice, and boil it to such an extent where that is converted into jaggery, good. So Mishri Lal क्या करता है? Sugarcane गन्ने का ऑब्टेन करता है, गन्ना हासिल करता है, उसको प्रोसेस करता है, उसका जूस निकालता है, उस जूस को गर्म करता है, पकाता है और कुछ और भी प्रोसेसेस है. इस चक्कर में उसका इलेक्ट्रिसिटी की भी जरूरत पड़ती है. फाइनली वो बनाता है गुड़. Now what does he do? Of course he has to sell the good. So he takes that good to the urban areas in market. Again, the transportation is required. Of course, Mystery Lal doesn't have his own transportation tools. All that he pays money to the various transporters and get his material to be transported to the desired places. This is how the jaggery industry or jaggery factory works in rural area. Okay, understood both the cases, and both these cases deal with small scale manufacturing. Now shopkeeping. It's a very easy thing. First, there are in urban areas I'm talking about, there is a wholesale market. You know what is wholesale market? There are two shops. One is a wholesale shop, another is a retail shop. What is the difference between wholesale and a retail? Wholesale shop is a shop which gives you things at very lower price, and retail shops give you things at higher price. Then which shop you would like to buy? Some might thought wholesale, and some might have given the correct answer, no, still we'll have to go to retail. Yes, the retail shop sells you the things expensive, you still have to go to retail shop. The reason is wholesale shop has condition. I have taken one example of teddies here. One teddy is 100 rupees, but the condition is you must buy at least 10 teddies. Then why a person would buy 10 teddies when we need one teddy at a time, at the most two? Why 10? We don't need 10 teddies. But who will buy 10 teddies? Shopkeepers can buy. So this is shopkeeping, this is trading. Now what happened? Retail shop owners of Palampur come here, buy things, not only teddies, anything you can, anything that we use in a day-to-day life. They buy here at lower prices, but they buy in larger quantity. Then they bring those things to their own village. Of course, they have to invest money because they have to pay things money here. Then they have to pay money for the transportation process. Then suppose a shopkeeper boy bought a teddy 100 rupees, but he had bought 10 teddies, and that teddy he is selling in this shop 150 rupees. He is earning 50 rupee extra. Why is he earning 50 rupees? Because he has invested money from his pocket, and he spent money on transportation also, and he can give you even one teddy also. So this man, not this one standing here, the man which is inside the shop is a trader. You can call him a shopkeeper. Trader is a person who buy things from one place and sell at another place and earn his own profit in the process. That is trading. Okay, understood? This is basic wholesale retail. And what is trading? एक जगह से माल खरीदना और दूसरे जगह जाके बेचना, ये करके आप लोगों की तकलीफ को बचाते हो. एक व्यक्ति, अगर मुझे एक सपोज 5 किलो शुगर लेनी है, तो 5 किलो शुगर लेने के लिए अगर मुझे 100 किलोमीटर 50 किलोमीटर जाना पड़ रहा है, वो शुगर मुझे बहुत भारी पड़ेगी. तो कोई एक बंदा जाता है 500 किलो शुगर लेके आता है, फिर 5 किलो मुझे, 5 किलो किसी और को, 2 किलो किसी और को, आधा किलो किसी और को, ऐसे देके वो हम सब लोग जो छोटे छोटे क्वांटिटी में खरीद रहे हैं, हमारी वो एक्चुअली हेल्प कर रहा है, और उस हेल्प के चक्कर में हम उसको थोड़े से कुछ पैसे ज्यादा दे रहे, ताकि वो हमारे लिए काम करता है, उसका भी तो परिवार हो ना, वो भी तो अपने परिवार को चलाए. सो वी गिव सम मोर मनी टू देम. Okay, understood this trading? This is basically trading. Same thing happens in Palampur also. There are very few people involved in this shopkeeping business in Palampur. And those are involved, what those people actually do? These people of Indian villages or the Palampur buy goods from the wholesale market in cities and sell in retail price in the village with their profit. मतलब शहरों से जाके ज्यादा क्वांटिटी में पर कम कीमत पे खरीद के लेके आते हैं, शहरों में जाके भी ज्यादा कीमत पे लेकिन कम क्वांटिटी में बेचने को तैयार होते हैं. And generally, those people who have their houses near the bus stop, they are advantaged people, because bus stop is such a place where there often crowd comes. And those people who have their houses near bus stop, they wanted to take the advantage of this. So those people have set up shops in their own house. अपने घर का पहला रूम, बाहर का रूम जो भी है, उन्होंने शॉप लगा दिए. And suppose you are also having your house in some village near bus stop. Why would which business you would start in a shop? Bus stop means there can be fruit shop, there can be snacks shop, there can be tea stall, there can be unfortunately pantela too, because okay, and varieties of things are sold in the shops like rice, wheat, sugar, tea, oil, biscuits, soaps, toothpaste, batteries, candle, pen, pencil, and whatnot. All those things you can. go to your shop nearest to your house, you can find out what a vast variety of things those people sell to you. So understood the shopkeeping business also. Now we'll see last, transportation business. Now these images are enough for you to understand what the transportation business is. So these two images deal with goods transport, and these two images deal with public transport. Sorry. So now variety of roads are there that connect the distant places. It means almost every village in India is now connected to a neighboring town and the nearest city with all weather roads. मतलब ऐसे रोड जो कि बारिश में भी शुरू शुरू होते हैं, सर्दियों में भी चालू रहते हैं और गर्मियों में भी शुरू रहते हैं, ऐसे all weather roads are there, those connects with in every Indian villages to major big cities. And there are some public transport things like buses. You can see the public transport. This is public transport, public transport, public transport. These three transport ferry people. Ferry मतलब एक जगह से दूसरी जगह लाने ले जाना. And these public transport ferry people from one place to another. And number of people involved in this transportation are increasing over the period of time. जैसे जैसे हमारे गांव की इकोनॉमी बढ़ती जा रही है, गांव में प्रोडक्शन बढ़ता जा रहा है, शहरों में भी ज्यादा जा रहा है. So we need more people involved in the transportation business. Of course, more with goods transport and public transports too. Various modes of transport also available that you can see here. Rickshaw wala, this is cycle rickshaw. Auto rickshaw is not given here, but they are also available in rural areas now. Tanga, same rickshaw pulled by horse. Then it is illegal, by the way, allowing so many people to sit in their vehicle, but this happens. Then goods transport, bullock cart, tractors, trucks, all these things, modes of transport also available in the rural areas in India. So let us recap what have we studied in this video. Overall, we see that around 25% of the people in Indian rural areas are involved in non-farm activities. The various or the major non-farm activities are dairy, small-scale manufacturing, shopkeeping, and transportation. Milk is obtained and sold in urban areas, that is dairy. Manufacturing is done on small level with the basic tool at home with family labor. Trading is also being practiced there. Goods are bought in wholesale price in large quantity from the urban areas and sold in some more priced with a retail price. And varieties of transport uh, elements are available in the rural areas. This is how we have come to end of this chapter. Here we declare that our this chapter, story of village Palampur, is finished, and this imaginary hypothetical village helped us to understand the rural economy in our country. So this is our last chapter. Soon I'll come with some other chapters, and all these chapters that you have studied here soon be available in the Hindi language too. Hindi is not pure Hindi, like typical language that English that we speak, Hindi and English together. I'm soon going to remake these videos in that language also. Keep visiting the channel. The learning should continue. So thank you so much. Take care. God bless you. Keep learning, and goodbye.